Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Okay, so we are going to look at a professional 2 vs 2 BGH match. What? That's a thing, Artosis? Yes, it is. So apparently, the Chinese 2 vs 2 or just team game BGH scene in general has a lot of money in it, and they do sponsored matches. This was news to me as well. And so they do a lot of sponsored matches against Scan and other top Korean players. So here we have this bottom left Zerg here on BGH, Zero Sugar Tank. This is Scan, and his teammate is Bishop using his proper ID. Their opponents are, let me just swap colors. Okay, so this is LoveTT. LoveTT is an old Chinese Protoss pro. I've casted, there's probably some games of his on the channel. I would be surprised if there wasn't, but I know who this guy is. He's strong. And his teammate, Nowayout. So I'm honestly torn a little bit what I should do color-wise, and I know that I asked in the previous, but I'm actually doing these in the same day. So I won't have that feedback, and we'll just go with what feels right. So yeah, this is Nowayout, the Chinese player. Apparently he's a very good BGH player, and LoveTT. And they're both playing Protoss. Now, I mentioned in a previous video that Protoss is considered the weakest for 2 vs 2, but the thing is, this is BGH, so I would imagine things are very different. Protoss is considered the strongest on BGH by miles. By miles. On fastest map BGH, basically if you have non-stop unlimited resources, Protoss is considered the strongest. So there you have it. Now, he comes over very quickly and scouts into... Oh, my bad. This is Bishop, and this is Scan. My God, this is... I'm confusing myself here. Sorry about that. So yeah, this is Scan as Protoss, this is Bishop as Zerg. That actually makes a little bit more sense to me, even though Scan's very good at Zerg. Bishop's actually got, like, God-tier Mutamicro. Like, you've seen a lot of his Wraith games on the channel, so that makes sense, right? Anyways, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm not too surprised that neither of them are going Terran. I know they're both Terran players, but they're both excellent at the other races, especially Bishop, I would say. You know, he almost made it into ASL with Random years before Flash even tried. He got to the finals of a qualifier with Random. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me too much. Terran is a little bit hard to play on BGH. When your opponents are sending a million units down each other's throats, it takes a while for Terran to get out of their base. So anyways, there's some offensive pylons going down here from Nowayout. It looks like 3-gate Zealot getting started by LoveTT right away. Lots of Zealots just flooding. 2 hatchery Zerglings here from Bishop, who is not getting speed yet. Okay, there's the speed upgrade on the way. And then, you know, over here, Scan is getting 2-gate with Dragoon range. That's a very quick Dragoon range, and he has been very blocked on his mineral patches. So, like, looking at Nowayout down here as well, going 2 Gateway Zealot, can't quite afford as much as LoveTT because, you know, obviously he's buying a lot of pylons over here. I feel like a big attack could be very strong here against Scan's base. Okay. Here comes LoveTT Zealots. So they're definitely going for an attack. A ton of Zealots on both sides. You can see some probes being brought as well, so you can fight against those Zerglings really, really well, or possibly even throw down some additional buildings. LoveTT coming in. You know, Bishop already brought a lot of Zerglings out here, so those are going to be helpful. With no upgrades yet, oh, this is like really good SimCity. Look at that. Damn. Okay. Now, just going for the gateway actually seems kind of smart. Just cutting into production. Just kind of gaining that tempo advantage. Sounds like it might be a good idea. More Zerglings have come in here from Bishop. He's going to go ahead and flank onto these Zealots. And in fact, I don't think they're going to end up losing this. Also, we saw the probe drill there. You know, he has vision of those minerals, so he can probe drill. Now, the gateway ends up going down. The Dragoon count actually has grown quite a bit here for Scan. He's on 5 Dragoons already, and they actually haven't taken very much damage thanks to the nice SimCity and blocking that we've seen so far in this game. You can see right now he's heavily microing these probes, so the Dragoons do take a little bit more damage, but it seems like Scan should be able to clean everything up. He definitely has lost a few probes. He's not as high as his opposing Protoss opponents as far as those worker counts go. But yeah, clears that out. Bishop with tons of Zerglings out here, just producing them nonstop. He's so low on drones. It's kind of funny to see just 9 drones on a BGH. As some additional cannons going up for LoveTT, who hasn't even taken a gas as of yet. Just trying to kind of secure his front because Scan would be able to walk in and kind of kill everything with his Dragoons. Already we have cannons up here for Nowayout in the bottom right. Okay, so the Dragoons, yeah, with the cannons up, it doesn't feel like you can get that much value out of them because the Zealots will just walk forward as you walk forward. And over here, 3-4 cannons plus these Zealots, you're not really going to be able to run by. There are a lot of Zerglings kind of waiting here for Bishop. But I was going to say, yeah, he should be droning up, and we can see that Bishop also expanding at the moment. As far as Scan goes, he's getting +1, but he hasn't even added an additional gateway, which I find interesting. Probe going towards top right. You can see that Bishop has already scouted that general area. And throws down a Nexus. So right now, Scan is expanding to top right. Now, BGH, guys, like, it's hard to kill people on BGH. Because, again, you have so much money. You have unlimited resources. Look at this. It's 20,000 per patch. It's just not going to run out. You'd have to be on the map for hours and hours to run this out. And the gas has, look at this, 50k gas. Jeez Louise. Just not going to happen. Some additional cannons go up. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. So is this going to be... Because this positioning is weird. It's like... It looks like it's kind of a containment for this general area, but it might be containment / defense for his area as well if LoveTT comes out. Scan right now with a big group of Dragoons down here. An additional macro hatchery coming up. Evolution chamber is up, but we don't see an upgrade as of yet for Bishop. Goes ahead and makes this hatchery. By the way, this is a revamped. This is not what actual BGH looks like exactly. They've redone some of the mineral patches because they're so bad normally. Like this gas is normally bad. This is still kind of bad. But you can see it's a little... As far as I can tell, this is a slightly different BGH map. I do play BGH occasionally, just in like fun games with chat and stuff. So it does look a little bit different. Yeah, like this base definitely didn't look like that. So I'm going to go ahead and say I am correct on that. Okay, so Scan has an additional Nexus. Scan's economy should start to get ahead of everyone. Bishop already has his additional hatchery, so they've got really, really great economies. But just because you're mining a bit more like that doesn't mean that you're just going to win the game. BGH is not like that. Like, you make the right unit comp sitting on your one base, and you move out, you can make all the difference in the world. So a Corsair being made here, that could be problematic for Bishop if they go Corsairs and start to knock out some of his air units. Just lots of ground units being spammed out here by LoveTT. Throws a pylon up here. This is probably more for adding some macro buildings, maybe seeing any potential drops coming in from a funny direction. Mass Zerglings in the center of the map ready to respond to anything. And in fact, they might need to respond now because LoveTT is walking out and Scan does not have enough units here. This Overlord should get picked off as well. Oh. I think I missed the shuttle dropping off some Zealots here. Okay, so he does clear that. Sorry about that. Too much stuff going on. And here come the Zerglings now. Zerglings plus Dragoon's going to do a great job trading here. Well, it looked like it was going to be a great job, but those Zealots at the bottom definitely ended up helping out quite a bit. Scan going to pull back towards his photon cannons. Bishop doesn't have a lot down here, so this could be a little bit scary for him. He does have a decent amount of hatches at 4 already. Corsairs coming in and putting on some pressure. The rest of the Dragoons as well as Zerglings coming out. This is like a very, very solid defense here for Nowayout. Okay, here we go. Pushing in LoveTT, looking for that additional damage. He does have +1 attack, so he's going to be two-shotting Zerglings with the Zealots. Bishop, I don't believe... he doesn't have an upgrade yet, although his carapace is on the way to negate that, so that's really, really good. Scan coming down with the rest of his Dragoons. He's going to be able to kill off these Dragoons and Zealots pretty quickly. In the meantime, a couple more pylons going up here. Don't really see all that much static D, just mostly units being made. So LoveTT will end up losing his whole army there. But again, this is not meaning that it is the end of the world for him or anything. Reaver drop going into Scan's main base. Ooh, actually getting some pretty decent hits here. Really killing quite a few probes. Gonna pull back. Scan might want to leave a few more units down to the side. You can see Bishop now kind of counter-pushing out with a single lurker as well as some Zerglings. Scan with his Dragoons starting to walk out as well. Yeah, the one lurker is kind of a funny ad because you're kind of forcing everyone to get into detection. Look at that. It has to throw down a robo. Oh, he already has a robo, but getting the observatory. Another big drop coming into Scan's base. He has a lot of Dragoons in here, though, so it shouldn't be quite as bad as last time. Still some pretty good micro here from Nowayout, bringing his Reavers forward. Or his Reaver forward. Yeah, getting some good kills. Even put some damage on that warping in photon cannon. LoveTT hemorrhaging a couple of units out there. Top right is really, really doing a great job. He's actually only got 37 workers, though, so Nowayout actually has more workers at the moment. He's delayed so much of the mining here. I think he actually has a better overall economy, although sometimes Scan does. Now, LoveTT has pushed out into his natural a little bit. There is a small lurker containment here, but as soon as he has a detection, I'm sure he'll be able to deal with that pretty well. Bishop bringing some Hydralisks in for a little bit more support in Scan's base. Yeah, I think throwing down multiple cannons in this area is going to be a very smart play, considering this entire game so far has been Nowayout just bombing into his base with those shuttles. Very good center control. Look at this. So there's a bunch of lurkers here, some cannons here, ton of Dragoons in the center, a few extra units. So, for instance, when this happens, Scan should be moving over here immediately to try to help out and just give a little bit extra to those lurkers. Do lurkers do friendly splash? I actually am not completely sure. I believe that they do deal splash damage to Scan's units. I'm almost certain of it. Okay, Evolution Chamber, so continuing those upgrades. Almost got +2 Carapace. A group of Hydras here, throwing down some additional pylons. Lots of units being made by Nowayout. You know, the big difference I see here is the expansion and the expansion. And also just the area that can be built upon. This is kind of a small main base, so it can be hard to fit enough buildings. This is a huge main base. This is a big main base. This is a huge main base, although it has unbuildable up here. Just to mention, right? Because like as your economy gets really insane, like if you have 70 workers spread correctly, you're just going to have infinity money coming in, basically. It just never slows down. So you do need to build a ridiculous amount of production facilities to just make sure that you have those units out there. Okay, LoveTT is starting to push. He's got some High Templars in here. Ooh, very strong Psy Storm. Oh, another Reaver drop bombs in. Hold on now. By the way, a Queen is here. I haven't really mentioned anything about that yet. Some Psy Storms onto those probes. Scan's still going to be okay. Like, he's definitely... I mean, he's dropping down 45 workers, but he's got the 2 bases, which is a big difference. A big deal. LoveTT with these Psy Storms definitely going to be doing a little bit better in these battles. Adrenal on the way here for Bishop. He has gone up to Hive. Put a big volley down onto that Archon. The Zealots coming forward with 1-1. +2 Carapace. Excuse me, over here for Bishop. Now, there has to be a real breakout plan, I feel like, because Scan and Bishop are controlling the center so much. I feel like that's the biggest problem right now, because the supplies are actually, like, they're pretty comparable, as you can see. The worker count's pretty comparable. Obviously, LoveTT has an extra base. There is an extra base coming up for Nowayout. But I feel like you have to battle for center a bit more, probably. Now, again, I'm not a 2 versus 2 player by any means, but this feels so powerful. I guess you could just continually make drops and come in here like this and just continually attack via air and kind of circumnavigate this. In the meantime, LoveTT over here just trying to grind through with his Size Storm a little bit, kind of a slow push coming in. I think as long as he doesn't lose so much that he's going to lose his natural, these moves are okay. And it kind of forces you to keep a lot of units in the center. So maybe that's, yeah, the lurkers do deal bad damage. Bad damage. Unfriendly splash. Okay, backing up, and I wonder, because, you know, you get enough speed shuttles and they just start coming in and just bombing out zealots everywhere. The zealots start tanking, they draw the fire from the cannons. But I do, now here's my newbie BGH self coming out. I do feel like if you made more cannons, your defense would be better. I know this sounds stupid and obvious, but I know that basically everyone watching this has played BGH and knows that in these situations, just fill up your bottom with cannons might be worth it relatively soon here for Scan, who has the least, well, the least workers amongst the Protoss players, at least. So they're always going to have fewer workers. All right, the Adrenalings getting up on top of some of these Dragoons. They don't have a melee attack yet. Almost have it, though. So the additional armor on those Dragoons really, really, really paying off. Okay, so this is the attack coming out. Nowayout is finally, well, his ID was quite fitting, but there is a way out, and it's attacking through the front with all of your units. A lot of units left over here. Don't forget, that's a lot of supply in the side of Scan's base that is not being utilized. Now, LoveTT and Nowayout come out at the same time. This is actually really well done in a lot of ways. I kind of like the way that the Chinese players have approached it. Like, I think it's more fundamentally sound what Scan and Bishop have done, controlling the center. But the fact that he just dropped nonstop in Scan's base, and then suddenly they both come out together, and you can see that there's like 30 plus supply in here that is not being utilized in this battle. If all that supply was out here, they would have crushed all this. But instead, Nowayout is going to finish off a lot of these units. Oh, some High Templars being rallied out, it looks like, here from Scan. Oh my god, what a crazy game this is right now. So the center gets killed off. Bishop wanted that base. Not going to happen. Looks like a lurker drop might be coming into this base. Wow, that's going to be a very strong move. A lot of cannons up there. Let's see if he actually gets this off, because there's a lot of action going on right now. So this could make a big difference. But you can see even Bishop right now, he's busy doing other things. Okay, here we go. Burrows those lurkers. Yeah, going to get some very good spines in here. There's just so many things under attack, it's hard to keep track of this. Nowayout in a lot of trouble here, taking a huge amount of probe losses. Now, Nowayout is battling against Scan's mass of Dragoons. He does have one additional upgrade. Couple more cannons coming up here from LoveTT, or the first couple cannons in the center of the map, at least, pushing back on both Scan and Bishop. So Bishop is like kind of back behind a lurker defense. He did this amazing lurker drop, killing 19 workers. Scan looks pretty solid over here. He's got up here, but no production yet. Don't forget, there is this path that goes up the side. So Scan, as long as he doesn't get pushed back through this choke, he actually can still try to defend this base. It's kind of far away. Whereas LoveTT and Nowayout are trying to set up something in the center, but Nowayout's got to send some units. Yeah, it looks like these lurkers are finally getting dealt with. But LoveTT is mostly battling by himself in the center. If Nowayout could have sent even a small group of Dragoons, they're going to be able to hold this a lot better. More lurkers coming out here for Bishop. Very good storm. Ooh, look at this lurker drop into Nowayout space. Nowayout has taken a lot of damage. He's down to 46 probes. It's still a doable economy. Like, he can recover from this. He's got 2 nexuses, but that's a lot of damage. I don't think he's even recognizing what's happening. We'll just keep that clicked. But you can see another big drop into Scan space. Scan, likewise, taking lots and lots of damage. He's actually trying to target down the nexus, it looks like, but won't quite be able to get it, I don't think. Oh, you know what? Never mind. He absolutely does get it. Ensnare goes down. By the way, 17 kills on the thing, but Ensnare goes down, and in fact, some of these shuttles will be picked off. One of the Reavers does end up getting out, but Scan loses his Nexus. Very, very painful. Okay, where are we at in this game? So right now, LoveTT has the most supply, and he's got mostly control of the center. You can see a lot of cannons go up. No Nexus or anything. He's not getting too greedy. He's got his 2 bases mining. Got good production. He's focusing heavily on ground units as well as High Templars. Looking at Scan's side. Okay, well, he's had 3 forges for a while, but only has 3 upgrades. He lost his Nexus in his main base. He's had top right forever. Nexus and Nexus. So he's expanding across the top of the map. He might be giving this up. Nowayout lost a lot of probes and finally dealt with that lurker just now. But he does have the 2 bases. He can remake those probes. I don't think he's down and out as of yet. And in fact, this is a pretty big attack coming in. This is a lot of Scans units. You can tell which Archon it belongs to because of the little swirling graphics, those colors. So those are Scan Archons as he comes up with these Dragoons as well. This Robo in the center really tells us what LoveTT is thinking about. Like, it seems like he wants to start making some Reavers in here as well, which makes sense. Because down here, we have the Defiler Mound, and there are some Defilers that are going to be on the way. I saw some Defilers. Yeah, they're in the production tab right now. So Bishop going to load up some Overlords, drop into LoveTT's base. LoveTT pulling back in the center at the same time. Oh, wow, he's got lots of cannons here. But if there's a Defiler, the cannons won't matter. Ooh, Psystorm could be big here. Look how many lurkers are in here. How many probes is he going to end up getting? Oh, my God. LoveTT still on 61 probes. Seems like he's dealing with it okay-ishly so far. Storm goes down on those Overlords. Ooh. These lurkers are just a pain to deal with. In fact, you might even get the Observatory there. Going to make it even harder. LoveTT coming down, putting some pressure. Well, there's nothing down here. Maybe he thinks that there's a good chance that Bishop expanded there, but he did not. So that Nexus under fire right now. Looks like the probe count has built back. They've all got pretty much the same probes. Not a lot of drones left, so something happened over here that we missed. Sorry, tons of action here. You can't blame me in a 2 versus 2, right? I'm sure you can, but it's not fair. Yeah, so right now these Archons all fight each other in the center. This is such a crazy game. Oh my God. Their upgrades are starting to get really ridiculous as well. 3-2 here for LoveTT. Scan has 2-2. Bishop, I think, is almost... Okay, 1 melee, but I think he has +2 range and then +3 carapace. So really, really absurdly good upgrades. Right now, Bishop is going to have to rebuild his economy, though. 16 workers is incredibly low, but that's the nice thing about Zerg, is you're not gated by the amount of, like, nexuses you have or something like that. It's like, yeah, he's got 6 hatches, so he can make 18 drones at once if he has the money. So he'll be able to fill that back up really, really quickly. LoveTT definitely took a lot of damage from the big drop from Bishop, but luckily they dealt that damage back to Bishop as well. Right now, it seems like Scan is living up to the title of the best 2 versus 2 player. You can see he's taken so much in the top right. Even though Scan's been taking damage all game, like, he has got so much going on. Some good storms come down here from Nowayout. And yeah, he will end up killing a decent amount of the probes, but still very good economy from Scan. He saves this base. He's got this base. He's got this base. He's got cannons. So you can't just run in with a DT. Like, like he's trying to do. Ooh, Arbiter. That could have been a recall, I guess, but I don't think so. I don't think that was a recall. I think that was shuttles that got up there. But recall, you know, going to be an awesome tool that you can utilize in these games. So Scan has a ton of Archons and Dragoons, a few Zealots in there as well. Not even a few. That is a lot of Zealots as well. Just tons of units. No one is maxed out yet, by the way. Scan does have the most supply, tied with Nowayout for worker count, but has better base saturation on 3 bases. Don't forget this one's dead. Whereas it's 2 bases here. So yeah, better saturation for Scan, but same worker count. We're going to ignore that. LoveTT still fighting his own battles on the left side of the map, pulling back now. Doesn't look like he has too much splash here. Okay, he does have a High Templar in there. Yeah, some Archons and whatnot. Pulls back into a defensive spot. Nowayout just with a handful of units in here. Bishop hasn't been helping for a bit. Like, this is the Scan show right now while Bishop rebuilds his economy. And you can see that is still what he's doing. He is adding a few Lings in now as well to help out. You know, they have Adrenal, they have +1 melee, they have +3 carapace, so still a pretty good unit. Now, up comes Scan's, well, a big chunk of Scan's army at least. But now the Arbiter is out. Does he have any detection here? I don't believe that he does. So he actually can't really go much further. Like, he's throwing down some side storms, but see, his units are just trying to target the Arbiter, and Nowayout just pulls it back. Don't see Arbiter in Protoss versus Protoss that often, or a Protoss versus Zerg for that matter, but you're definitely seeing it here. Okay, and Overlord is off to the side, so actually the Cracklings come in and are going to clean up these Dragoons super, super, super fast. Kill quite a few units there, so well done. Scan microing back against another chunk of LoveTT units. Oh god, we had something with Darkstorm drop here. By the way, 80+ probes right now for Scan. So important to point that out, that he has really got his economy going. You can see he's starting to just throw down mass cannons. This is what I want to see in a BGH game, is a million billion cannons. Huge probe saturation over here for LoveTT. I think just a lot of his natural probes ran away up to there. You know, a Dark Swarm drop is something that you have to deal with Reavers, Psystormers, Zealots. That's basically all that can deal with the Lurker under the Dark Swarm. Archons can't even hit it. They're actually a ranged attack that deals splash, and splash is displaced under Dark Swarm. Things technically are missing. Okay. So Nowayout actually has this largest supply, surprisingly. So he should have by far the biggest army. Because Scan is up like almost 20 workers, but Nowayout is up 15 supply. So it should be like 35 army supply plus for Nowayout. Oh, a couple shuttles going up. Yeah, he's just going to lose this stuff. That is too many cannons there to really deal with. You can see instantly rebuilding everything. He's got 4 probes out building like he's a Terran player or a Zerg player. But yeah, just wants to get those down immediately, ASAP. Here's this Arbiter. Okay, it doesn't have enough for recall yet. Recall is 150. So it's not ready as of yet. Kind of poked in maybe just for a scout. Scan retaking this base. I think if he retakes the space, he needs to fill everything with cannons. He cannot be half-assing it there. Bishop's still having a hard time keeping his economy completely together. Oh! Darkstorm drop. Not that many kills. It seems like he mostly pulled back his workers, so it's not as many kills as you might imagine. Ooh, picks up the Defiler and the Lurker. You got to kill that off. Oh my god, I didn't even know you could drop stuff up there. That's so sick. This is actually such a hard spot to even see here, because of the UI in the game when you're playing. Wow. Okay, so in comes Scan with a big attack. He's maxed out at this point, but again, we should have enough units from Nowayout to technically hold this. Like, he's got so much supply right now, and it's not much in workers. So he comes up. A little drop comes down at the same time with Bishop throwing down the Dark Swarm. So It looks like this is not going so well here for Nowayout. I thought he'd be able to break through that just based on his supply numbers a little bit better, but doesn't seem to be the case. He loses that Nexus, which is painful. Of course, he can remake that. LoveTT came in with that flank there at the end. Another move out here from Scan. LoveTT looks like he wants to attack into Bishop, but part of his army getting caught is no good. One thing to note is that actually LoveTT is the only one with Kadarin Amulet. That is definitely an upgrade you don't want to forget. Letting High Templars start with 25 more energy. You get your storms faster. You can hold more storms. Definitely worthwhile in a BGH game. Or really any game that goes long at all, and we're 30 minutes in. Okay, so great Psystorm goes down. Plague going to start coming out. Plague, of course, one of the most ridiculous spells ever to have existed. Protoss does not really have a counter to that. Like, that's just it, man. Like, you just got these Zealots that are going to have shields only. Plasma Shield's so much weaker. Although some Plasma Shield upgrades are on the way. It looks like only for Scan at the moment, since he does have the greatest economy. So, Scan has set up a few cannons at least. A few extra cannons, but no Nexus right now. LoveTT and Nowayout holding the center. Some Mass Scourge coming out. Ooh. Scourging the Arbiter. So annoying to deal with. It's one of the reasons why some of these more expensive flying Protoss units don't actually get used oftentimes in PvZ. Scourge are just so good. One of the reasons why BCs can be used in Terran vs. Scourge is because they one-shot Scourge. That's like one of the big ones. If they didn't one-shot Scourge, you'd probably never see them. I'm not even joking. It's just Scourge are too good as an anti-air unit. Okay, Scan takes over the center once again. Throwing down some more cannons. It's mostly just cannons everywhere for Scan right now. Honestly, I want to see him throw down some more gates. I guess he's throwing them all down in his main base, and he has reinforced here a little bit, so it makes sense in a way. But I almost feel like, hey, why not throw down 10 gates in this base and 10 gates in this base? Like, you know, it might end up being helpful, but, you know, he's the expert for this. Maybe just macroing on 1 to 2 screens on the right-hand side is just going to be a bit faster for him, and he's got good control of the flow of this game overall. You know, it's not that nothing's happening on the other side, but just something to mention. Oh, we might actually see a Zerg expansion here. That would actually make some sense. Bishop's had a hard time coming out and getting more economy. You know, he's sitting here on 31 drones only. Most of his value at this point is from drops. Just the fact that lurkers are hard to see, and, you know, the defilers. The Darkstorms have been great. Okay, out comes LoveTT. Great storm there on those Dragoons. You know, Psystorm plus Zealots mostly just pounds Dragoons, but not in these numbers. This is a huge, huge army. You can see that Scan is also focusing on getting out a lot of Archons. It's going to be kind of a set it and forget it counter against the Zealots coming out. Yeah, LoveTT doing his best to hold on here with mass Psystorms, but Scan just kind of pushing his way through, muscling in with this Mass Dragoon. In the meantime, another attack comes in, and looks like he doesn't quite get Bishop's natural. Bishop, in fact, is up on workers still, like compared to what he was last time we checked, so that's good at least. Bishop coming up with his Defiler. Little containment here, just a handful of Hydras, going to try to pick off maybe some of these observers so he can't push through so easily. LoveTT trying to push him out. Scan backing up to center. This is an epic game. We're at 34 minutes right now. Honestly, it doesn't feel like that. It's just such a different, fun game to see. Hope that you guys are enjoying this little foray into the 2 vs 2 scene. Definitely do let me know in the comments if you're still watching this deep in at about 34 minutes, 30 seconds. I'd love to know if people are watching and still engaged. And yeah, of course, I really want to see a lot of comments on how people have liked adding in just some 2 vs 2s for some fun on the channel. You know, it is always my goal and is something that I'm very serious about, getting a cast up every single day. And if people really, really do like the 2 vs 2s, I can mix them in occasionally, although I will never make them like too much on the channel just because I'm a 1 versus 1 guy, and you know, me liking it is the most important. Sorry, guys. Okay, so he's clearing these gases so Bishop can get those. We have the hatchery here. I actually want to see a Nidus go up. That would be great. I want to see more static D2, maybe before he gets, like, creeps out. I would love to just see a ton of cannons. He's got 5k minerals. There's no reason not to fill everything with cannons at this point. Okay, a lot of drones being sent over. Well, not a lot, but some. Nowayout trying to get out. LoveTT being pushed back into his natural. Scan's overall bank really seems to be dominating a lot of this game right now. Just his insane economy. He's able to continually hold the center with very little help from Bishop. It's not that Bishop's not doing things also, because I think, you know, part of this game has been Bishop under attack. We haven't caught all of them, but he's been attacked several times, lost hatcheries, lost drones. If the two Protoss players, LoveTT and Nowayout, can kill off Bishop, I actually think they'll win against Scan, just based on having way more supply. So, like, this is a somewhat tempo-oriented game right now. Can they actually kill off Bishop? Can they do something to retake the center so Scan can't exert this much dominance? Hard to say. Arbiter's still being made here from Nowayout. 53 workers at the moment. Scan's still sitting up high and mighty on 80. More and more cannons going down. Don't forget, there's no Darkstorm or anything. The only way you can make cannons not work against Protoss, well, I guess Scarabs outrange them technically, but it's basically just D-Web would be the only thing that kind of does anything against them. I mean, we're not going to see D-Web this game. That's not going to happen. This game's too insane. So some good economy here for Bishop. That's good to see. LoveTT still, he's having a hard time doing too much. Okay, gets a recall off in Bishop's base. This is kind of a big moment. He's got about 3 Psystorms here available. We'll see what he utilizes them on. Okay, good one on those Zerglings. Another good one. Okay, well, I don't know if he used all of them, but seems like the recall does okay. Scan pushing in, knowing that LoveTT should be down on units just slightly. Actually has a lot of good splash damage in here. Hopefully he utilizes that. Not sure if he even sees it at the moment. The Psystorm's so good against everything in this tight choke. And Scan just kind of right-clicking on this Nexus. So he's going to get the Nexus. That will be picked off. LoveTT kind of low on money right now. Scan able to do pretty much whatever he wants. By the way, another drop is going to be coming in. Big drop at this Nexus. I think we're going to see some Darkstorms go down and maybe a lot killed over here for Nowayout, who does come up to help out. But yeah, this is a big problem. That right there. LoveTT loses this Nexus. The main Nexus is going to fall for his teammate in Nowayout. Bishop on 3 base. Over 50 workers right now. Scan here on 3 base. GG is called. What an insane game that was. That was actually really entertaining in my opinion. I enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.